Welcome back to my podcast, where I will discussing 5 AI topic with you. So let's get started. I will send you a topic and we need to communicate around it like the podcast.
Understood. Please provide the topic and we'll proceed with a podcast style discussion. All right. We'll discuss the situation surrounding Anthropic and the Pentagon's concerns. Feel free to start.
What does mean the Pentagon stand for?
In this context, it means the Pentagon is taking a firm position on Anthropic's policies. Specifically, the Pentagon is treating Anthropic as a potential supply chain risk because the company isn't willing to allow military use of its AI tools.
So the Pentagon is a company?
No, the Pentagon is not a company. It refers to the headquarters building of the United States Department of Defense and is often used as a metonym for the U.S. military leadership.
What does it mean the headquarter?
A headquarters is simply the central administrative or operational center for an organization. In other words, it's the main office where key functions are coordinated.
So I just know this news is because Anthropic it don't need it which don't willing to support the AI service for the world, right?
Correct. In summary, the news is about Anthropic not agreeing to allow their AI to be used for military purposes, and that's what led to the Pentagon labeling them as a potential risk.
So what does mean the chain risk, supply chain risk?
A supply chain risk in this context means a potential vulnerability in the chain of suppliers and technology providers that the military relies on. Essentially, if Anthropic's AI systems can't be used or are restricted in a way that the Pentagon sees as problematic, then the Pentagon considers that a risk to their supply chain.
Oh, so if Anthropic don't want to be a corporation, it should have another choice.
Yes, that's correct. If Anthropic chooses not to cooperate with the Pentagon's requirements, they simply have the option not to do so.
Which company accepted the task?
The company in question is Anthropic. To clarify, FA entity, Anthropic AI Safety Startup, is an AI safety startup that has decided not to allow its AI models to be used for military purposes. This stance is what led to the current situation with the Pentagon.
So have another company want to take this corporation contract?
Yes. In fact, other companies are generally willing to work with the Pentagon on similar contracts. For example, companies like Palantir, defense contractor, or entity Lockheed Martin, aerospace and defense company, often take on these kind of defense-related collaborations. Here are some examples of these companies.
Can you take a simple introduction about the Palantir?
Certainly. Entity Palantir, data analytics firm, is a data analytics company that specializes in big data analysis. It provides software solutions primarily for government agencies and large organizations to help them integrate and analyze vast amounts of data for intelligence and decision making.
So its target is just to let AI apply in the military activity?
No. Palantir's scope is broader than just military applications. While they do have contracts with defense and intelligence agencies, they also provide data analysis tools for law enforcement, healthcare, financial institutions, and other actors.
Okay, so uh, mm, we talking the next topic.
Understood. We'll move on to the next topic whenever you're ready. Certainly. Now we'll discuss the topic of market volatility and insider trading in the context of the AI industry. Let's proceed.
There have a lot of the unfamiliar word for me. For example, what does mean the market variety and insider trading?
Market volatility refers to how much and how quickly the prices of assets in a market move up and down. Essentially, it's a measure of how unstable or unpredictable the market prices are. On the other hand, insider trading means buying or selling stocks or other securities based on material, non-public information about the company.
Uh, Wall Street. What does mean the Wall Street? Uh,
Wall Street is a term that refers to the financial district in New York City, where many major banks, investment firms, and stock exchanges are located. More broadly, it's often used as a shorthand for the US financial markets or the financial industry as a whole.
oh, I think the Wall Street is named 华尔街 in Chinese, right?
Yes, that's correct. In Chinese, Wall Street is indeed translated as 华尔街.
Uh, so why what what about the information is the insider news for the trading? I don't understanding because uh also I what exactly the prediction market for folks where the area about the OpenAI I don't understanding the this
Understood. In this case, the insider trading news involves someone at FA entity organization OpenAI, AI research lab using confidential information about prediction markets, platforms where people trade contracts based on the outcomes of future events to gain an unfair advantage. So prediction markets are a type of market where people essentially bet on the likelihood of various events. The OpenAI incident is about someone trading on that kind of inside information.
one of famous platform I know is named Polymarket. And can you give me some uh 那个 exactly the topic from this news?
Certainly. In this case, the specific topic is that an employee at OpenAI was reportedly involved in insider trading on a prediction market platform. For context, Polymarket organization, blockchain-based prediction market platform, is indeed one well-known prediction market where users can trade on the outcomes of real-world events. The news is essentially about a breach of ethical and financial trust within OpenAI tied to using confidential information on such a platform.
Can you give me some of the event around this topic? Can you give me some event about the OpenAI because I curious which the event could be inside trading inside trading.
In short, what happened is that OpenAI fired an employee for using inside information to make trades on prediction markets like Polymarket. Essentially, this individual placed bets based on confidential details about OpenAI's internal developments, like product launches or leadership changes. This case has put a spotlight on how prediction markets can be a channel for insider trading and raise broader concerns about governance and regulation in the AI industry.
What does mean the spotlight?
A spotlight, in this context, means a strong public or media focus and a particular issue. In other words, it's drawing a lot of attention to the topic.
Okay, so we talking the next topic.
Understand? We'll move on to the next topic. All right. Now we'll focus on the topic of audio AI agents. Let's proceed.
Uh, uh, cell network. What does mean the cell network? And also, I don't understanding. I never hear about the Hughes Stacks app. What the what does the capability of it?
A cell network refers to a cellular network, basically the infrastructure that allows mobile phones to communicate with each other and with other networks. It's the system of cell towers and infrastructure that lets you make calls, send texts, and use mobile data. As for the Hux app, it's an application that can turn your personal schedule into daily audio summaries. In other words, it uses AI to read out your plans and reminders in a personalized audio format.
So the cell network is like the we like the WeChat in China, right?
No, a cell network is not the same as an app like WeChat. A cell network is the underlying communication infrastructure that mobile devices use to connect for calls, texts, and data. In contrast, WeChat is a messaging and social media app that runs on top of such networks. In short, the cell network is like the roads, and WeChat is a car driving in them.
So if in China, what exactly the similar the company like the cell network infrastructure?
In China, similar infrastructure is provided by major telecommunications companies, like Fa Entity, China Mobile, telecommunications provider, Fa Entity Fa Company, China Unicom, telecommunications provider, and Fa China Telecom, telecommunications provider. These companies operate the cellular networks that enable mobile communication throughout the country.
Uh, the the ElevenLabs. I really curious why is name the company is the 11. Why don't not be the another numbers? Have any the specifically specific means for the name?
The name ElevenLabs is simply a branding choice by the company, and it doesn't have a widely known special meaning behind it. Companies often pick numbers or unique names just to stand out or convey a certain style. In this case, 11 might have been chosen because it's easy to remember, or just because it sounded good to the founders.
So the AI agent can be accessed by the free trial user.
Yes, the AI agent functionality provided by ElevenLabs can indeed be accessed by users during a free trial period. This means that new users can try out the service at no cost for a limited time before deciding if they want to subscribe.
I really watch you use the Indeed, and I want to learn where the environment can be use this word.
The word indeed is typically used to confirm something that was just mentioned, or to emphasize that a statement is true. For example, you can use it in formal or polite context when you're agreeing with someone or reinforcing a point.
For example,
For example, if someone says, "So users can try out the AI agent for free," you might respond, "Indeed, they can exit during a trial period." This use of indeed just confirms and emphasizes the information.
good. So exception this AI agent. I don't know whether have the how to how to understanding the 11 lab. It is a voice model development or the just application.
ElevenLabs is primarily focused on voice AI technology. In other words, it develops advanced speech synthesis models that can turn text into natural sounding speech. These models are used in applications like audio narration, personalized audio summaries, and other voice driven interfaces. So it's not just a single application, it's a platform for creating various voice based AI tools.
So it is to what are what are the famous models developed by the company.
One of the well known models developed by ElevenLabs is its advanced text to speech model. This model is recognized for producing highly natural and human-like voices, and it's used in a variety of applications, including audio narration and personalized audio summaries.
I I I can see you like using the well known, not the famous. Can you tell me in the regular conversation which the pattern is more be uh used popularly usually be to usually be used.
In regular conversation, it's actually more common to say something like well known or just famous directly rather than not unknown. The latter can sound a bit formal or indirect. So in everyday speech, you usually just say something like one of the famous models they developed is, rather than using a double negative.
Okay, so we talk in the next topic.
Understand? We'll move on to the next topic. Now we'll discuss how tech giants are expanding into the Arctic Circle to leverage cheap energy for running compute-intensive AI models.
Uh, the frontier. How to understanding the words.
In this context, frontier means a new and relatively unexplored area of activity or development. It's often used to describe pushing into new, innovative, or challenging fields. Here it refers to expanding AI operations into a new geographical and technological area.
Geo Geographical, what does it mean? I know the technology is like the computer reference, like the computer.
Geographical refers to anything related to the physical location or area on Earth. In other words, when we say geographical area, we're talking about a specific place or region in the world.
The second what I'm familiar is the giant. What does that mean?
In this context, giant refers to a very large and influential company, especially in the technology industry. So when we say tech giants, we mean big, powerful technology companies like Google, Microsoft, or Apple.
What does mean Arctic cycles?
The Arctic Circle is an imaginary line of latitude located at about 66.5 degrees north of the equator. It marks the southern boundary of the Arctic region. Areas within the Arctic Circle experience at least one day a year when the sun never sets, and at least one day when it never rises.
Arctic cycle is the Nanji in Chinese.
No, the Arctic Circle is not the Nanji in Chinese. The Arctic Circle refers to the northern polar region, which in Chinese is Beijiguan. Nanji refers to the Antarctic or the South Pole region, which is the opposite polar area in the south.
So the article cycle, what is related about the computer hungry to reduce the temporary for the service, I guess.
Yes, that's correct. The reason the Arctic Circle is relevant is because it offers a naturally colder environment, which helps cool the large data centers that run these compute hungry AI models. By setting up data centers in a colder region, companies can reduce the amount of energy for cooling and thus lower their overall operational costs.
So why there take eyes on uh the Arctic cycle, not the Antarctic.
Tech companies focus on the Arctic Circle rather than the Antarctic, mainly because the Arctic is more accessible and has existing infrastructure and settlements. The Antarctic is far more remote, heavily regulated by international treaties, and lacks the same kind of logistical support and connectivity that the Arctic regions can offer.
Hmm. But I just know the unit data and the airport have been the two area close to the Arctic region, and well, why exactly the location for this the uh mm, mm, yes, so we talking the last topic.
Understood. We will proceed to the next topic. Now, we'll focus on the topic of mystery hardware sightings and the debate between agentic and mimetic systems, which highlights how the boundary between reality and artificial intelligence is becoming increasingly indistinct.
The first word I don't know what exactly the names. Uncanny, what does it mean?
Uncanny refers to something that is strangely unsettling or eerie, often because it is familiar, yet somehow slightly off or unnatural. In this context, it suggests that the hardware or systems being observed have a strange or almost human-like quality that makes them feel a bit eerie.
Can you explain expression in Chinese? I still don't understand it.
当然可以。Uncanny 这个字在中文里
Thank you, expression. So, uh, sports in San Francisco. What does mean the sport? And the San Francisco is 洛杉矶 in Chinese.
In this context, spotted simply means that something has been seen or noticed. It's just a way of saying that this mystery hardware was observed in San Francisco. And yes, San Francisco is indeed 旧金山 in Chinese.
Oh. Mimetic system. What does mean a mimetic?
A mimetic system is one that imitates or replicates behaviors, patterns, or styles. In other words, it's a system designed to mimic something else. In the context of AI, a mimetic system might be one that tries to closely copy human behavior or communication styles.
AI continue to blur. What does mean blur? And can you expression and extend the topic, make it more detailed and more traditionally? I really don't understand what exactly the topic saying.
In this context, blur means to make the distinction between two things less clear or more difficult to notice. Essentially, it suggests that the line between what is real and what is generated by AI is becoming harder to tell apart. To elaborate in a more traditional and detailed way, the topic is pointing out that with the appearance of mysterious new hardware in places like San Francisco, and the ongoing discussions about different types of AI systems, like those that act independently versus those that mimic human behavior, we're seeing that the difference between reality and AI-generated artifacts is becoming increasingly ambiguous. In simpler terms, as AI technology advances, it's getting harder to tell what is real and what is artificial.
So I have understanding the we talking is the topic is saying the result generated by AI and have the little